The candles flickered against the glass, their light dancing across the silverware like nervous fingers. My mother's voice sliced clean through the laughter. 80,000 for Leah's studies in Paris, she said, raising her glass. Forks paused midair, faces turned bright with admiration. I sat still, my hand resting on the napkin, my throat dry. I asked quietly, "What about me?" She didn't even look up. "You don't deserve any help." The air thickened. Perfume, steak, and silence mixed into something sour. I smiled, nodded once, and let that sentence burn itself into memory. / That was the last dinner I ever attended in that house. When you grow up in a family that measures love and achievements, you learn early what you're worth. For me, birthdays meant sitting on the edge of someone else's celebration, Leah's cake glowing under candles, her future toasted like a prophecy. Mine? A half-eaten grocery cake and a bus pass wrapped in thin paper. Mom said it would teach me independence. Dad said it would build character. Neither of them said happy birthday like they meant it. I remember the bus driver's name, Henry. He'd wave every morning, the kind of small kindness that keeps a kid from breaking. My backpack felt heavier than it should have. Not because of books, but because of everything unsaid at home. Mom loved order, Dad loved returns. Leah was their golden return, their investment that sparkled. I was background code. The invisible one who made things run. When Leah joined debate club, Mom called her a born leader. When I joined robotics, she called it cute. She'd walk into my room, wrinkle her nose at the tangle of wires, and open laptops. "Try something people actually notice, Alice." I'd just nod and keep soldering. My work didn't need applause. It needed power. The first time I won something, a local coding competition, I printed the certificate myself because they didn't bother to. "Congratulations, your project ranked first." I showed it to Dad while he was fixing the sprinkler. He squinted, nodded once, said, "Well, that's a start." Mom didn't even ask what the project was. That same night, Leah posted about her Paris interview, and the family group chat exploded. I muted it before my phone died from notifications that weren't meant for me. / By high school, I built an app that tracked bus routes for students who didn't have cars. It got featured in a small local paper. Mom clipped the article, not because she cared, but because our last name looked nice in print. She said, "Time you could have spent networking." At graduation, they sat front row, perfect smiles, pastel outfits. Leah cheered for her friend. No one stood when my name was called. I smiled anyway. The camera was watching. That night, in my tiny room, I pinned the bus pass above my desk beside that certificate. The rain outside tapped against the glass like a metronome counting the rhythm of quiet disappointment. That's when I learned the math of my family. Leah equaled light. I equaled silence. / The night of the Paris dinner replayed itself in fragments. Leah glowing under the chandelier, rehearsing French phrases. Mom correcting her accent between sips of wine. I'd just come from a cafe shift, my hands still smelling of espresso and burnt circuits. Dad cleared his throat. "We've finalized everything, tuition, rent, airfare. 80,000. Leah deserves to focus on her studies, not money." He said it like an announcement to shareholders. I thought I misheard. 80,000? I asked. He nodded. It's an investment in her future. The word investment clung to me like static. I said softly, I'm short on my dorm deposit, $2,000 would help. I'll pay it back. Mom didn't blink. You don't deserve help, Alice. It wasn't loud. It didn't need to be. It cracked like glass anyway. Even Leah stopped smiling. Dad refilled his wine. We put money where it brings returns. You made your own choices. Something inside me froze perfectly still. I looked at the chandelier, the polished table, their perfect faces. Then I smiled, small and sharp. I understand. When I stood, the chair scraped the floor loud enough to startle them. That was the sound of me leaving. Outside, the Seattle rain had started, tapping my windshield like fingers counting time. By the time I reached my apartment, my phone buzzed with messages, "Don't be dramatic. You'll regret this." I turned it face down. Let silence answer for me. That was the night I stopped asking for fairness, and started building something that couldn't be taken away. /////. The next morning, I deleted every family contact. No tears, no hesitation. My studio in Capitol Hill smelled of detergent and burnt toast from the neighbor's kitchen. I made coffee, opened my old laptop, and created a new folder, Life Plan. Inside, 3 files, savings, goals, projects. I didn't know what I was building yet, only that I wanted it to run without permissions. By day, I brewed coffee for strangers and fixed the cafe Wi-Fi. By night, I coded under a yellow desk lamp, the rain humming against the glass like background music. I logged every hour, every cent. Data became my faith. When people leave holes, data fills them. Months later, I landed a part-time IT job at a small logistics startup, Wayfinder Labs. Glass walls, whiteboards, the scent of ambition and new carpet. My badge read, Contract Engineer. 12 of us shared that space, but at night, it belonged to me. That's when Arjun noticed. He leaned over my desk one evening, eyes curious. You're optimizing delivery routes? I nodded. Just a side project. He smiled. Then make it your main one. 2 weeks later, Wayfinder had its first prototype, Wavefinder, a module that streamlined urban deliveries. We tested it with small cafes, bakeries, flower shops. Each clean data set felt like reclaiming a piece of control I lost that night at the dinner table. Zoe, my roommate, used to drop by with takeout. You're obsessed, she'd laugh. I'm building distance, I'd answer. From what? From permission. Dr. Monroe, my therapist, called it conditional love. They didn't reward you for being good, she said. They rewarded you for being useful. I smiled. Then I'll make usefulness my own. By the end of the year, Wayfinder became more than code, it became my voice. Numbers spoke where I never could. When the company offered to spin it off as a startup, Arjun made me CTO and co-founder. I signed the papers in a glass conference room overlooking Lake Union. Rain streaked down the windows like slow static. I didn't shake. Every milestone I logged. Every invoice tagged. Not paranoia, architecture. Control had a blueprint. And for the first time, I was the one drawing it. ////. 3 years blurred by in graphs and deadlines. Wayfinder grew from 2 desks to 2 floors. Our emission cut model hit national news. Investors called. I didn't buy new clothes. Still wore gray hoodies. Still tied my hair the same. I did, however, buy one thing, a home. A real estate alert popped up one evening, a lakeside house in Medina. Minimalist, glass, wood, quiet. $5 million. The same number that once felt impossible. I clicked buy. No cosigners. No shared names. No permission. The morning I moved in, the air smelled of cedar and rain. I hung one thing on the wall, that old green bus pass, framed behind glass. Beneath it, I wrote in small letters, broken routes, better paths. For the first time in my life, silence didn't mean absence. It meant peace. Some nights, I stood by the window watching the rain trace silver lines across the glass, my reflection faint but real. The hum of the washing machine echoed through the still house. I thought about them sometimes, not with anger, just curiosity. Whether they still believed worth was something to invest in. Whether they ever wondered about the daughter who stopped asking for help. //////. Then came the call. Saturday morning. Sunlight painted gold stripes across the floor. Ethan, my partner, was lacing his shoes for the farmer's market when my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost ignored it. Almost. Alice, it's me, Leah. Her voice trembled. I just drove past Medina. Your name's on the gate. Do you really live there? I stared at the glass wall, the reflection of the lake trembling with light. What are you trying to ask, Leah? Her breath hitched. Why do you have that? The call dropped. An hour later, messages poured in. Mom. Dad. Grandma. All the names I'd deleted years ago. Mom's voicemail was polished as ever. Leah said something unbelievable. Darling, call us. She's upset. You can't let jealousy divide this family. Then Dad's, heavy and rehearsed. Maya, sorry, Alice. Let's talk as adults. We're still family. Family. That word again. The one they only used when they needed something. By evening, a courier arrived with an envelope. Cream paper, elegant script, Elaine Collins. Leah's expecting, it read. You'll be an aunt. Maybe it's time to heal. Your father's struggling with work. The roof needs repair. Family supports each other. I know you're not a cold person. I folded the letter once, twice, until it fit neatly into the trash. No tears. No anger. Just clarity. I opened my old therapy journal, Boundaries. Wrote one new line. They don't miss me. They miss the role I used to play. /////. 3 days later, I sent 2 letters. One to Mom. If contact is to continue, 3 conditions. No money. No guilt. No surprise visits. I don't need apologies. I need space. One to Dad. You called it investment. Here's my return, freedom. Let's close the account properly. He replied with one text. Meet me. Fremont. Thursday. 10 a.m. The cafe near the bridge smelled of rain and burnt espresso. He arrived on time, coat pressed, eyes dim. You look different, he said. Better or worse? Different is fine. He tried soft words, old excuses. Parents make mistakes. We did what we could. I met his eyes. It wasn't a mistake, Dad. It was math. Math, he asked. You invested 80,000 in image. I built value out of nothing. The difference is honesty. He didn't argue. Just stared at his untouched coffee as the steam faded. When I stood, I said quietly, you don't owe me anything. That's the point. /////. A week later came the Seattle Education Gala. Wayfinder was sponsoring the new STEM scholarship. Gold lights, champagne laughter, polished futures. Ethan squeezed my hand. Ready? I nodded, spotting them before they saw me. Mom in pearls. Leah in pale blue, hand resting on her pregnant belly. They approached with that same practiced warmth. Mom's voice like honeyed steel, we came to congratulate you. You've done so well. But remember, success means giving back. Leah's preparing for the baby. Your father still needs that roof. I smiled, turned to the host. Excuse me. A stage assistant brought the envelope I'd prepared. I took the microphone, heart steady. Tonight, I'd like to make a personal contribution, $80,000, to fund scholarships for young women told they don't deserve help. Silence. Then applause. Rolling, rising, thunderous. I looked straight at my mother. You once called it an investment, I said softly. So do I. Her smile cracked. Dad froze mid-step. The check, $80,000, glowed under the stage lights. Alice Collins. Justice doesn't always shout. Sometimes it signs its name quietly. /////. After the gala, I didn't post a thing. No captions. No hashtags. Silence spread faster than headlines. The next morning, Seattle was washed in mist. I stood barefoot on the deck, the lake silver under soft rain. My phone stayed inside, face down. It hadn't rung since that night, and for once, that silence didn't feel like loss. It felt earned. Ethan brewed coffee, the smell warm against the chill. You okay? Yeah, I said. Finally. You looked lighter last night. I'm not lighter, I said. Just finished. When he left for work, I walked into my office. The glass framed the lake like a slow-moving screen. My desk was clean. Only my laptop, a mug half full of cold coffee, and that framed green bus pass. The same one they gave me for my 18th birthday, when they said responsibility was better than love. Now, it meant freedom. I opened my journal, the one from therapy, and wrote my final entry. They taught me that love has to be earned. I learned that peace doesn't. A heron crossed the water, wings slow and sure, disappearing into the fog. I watched it until it was gone. The thunder rolled somewhere far beyond Medina's calm, and for a long time I just sat there, listening. The rain no longer sounded like the night I drove away. It sounded like the life I chose instead. They once told me I didn't deserve help. Maybe they were right. Because what I needed wasn't help. It was distance, silence, and time to build something that couldn't be taken away. Now, when the rain hits the glass, it doesn't sound like sorrow anymore. It sounds like proof. /////. Thank you for listening to my story. It means the world to share it with you. If it moved you, please give this video a like and hit that subscribe button. It helps me keep telling stories like this one. Stay strong, and I'll see you in the next one.